and welcome to Out and About Art, your PGTV source for all things art in Polk County. I'm your host, Yasmeen Ali. Our first story this month is a peek inside the world of the Frostproof High School Chorus. This group of brilliantly talented singers has performed for audiences at Bartow's History Center, Disney's Candlelight Processional, and even the prestigious Carnegie Hall in New York. This past holiday season, their tenacity and dedication landed them their most impressive gig yet, the honor of performing at the White House. Check this out to learn more about the Frostproof High School Chorus.
Well, I had one of our parents of one of our students sent me a link to a website. And actually, what had happened was Melania Trump had tweeted that they were going to have, they were looking for high school programs to come in and sing at the White House during the Christmas season. And so one of the parents sent me a link. And so I followed the link and I applied. And I sent an older video in of us singing, and sent the recording in and said, you know what, let's give it a shot. I didn't know what the chances were of us actually making it, but I thought, well, you know, it might be cool, so we'll give it a shot. And then I got an email about a month ago saying that we had been accepted. So the first thing when I got the email, I didn't know if it was like one of the spam emails, you know, where they tell you that, like, yeah, you made this or whatever, and you're like, okay. I actually emailed the lady back, and I asked her, I said, just wanted to check to make sure, in fact, we had, you know, qualified to sing at the White House. And she said, yeah, and I checked, and it was all legitimate, because I saw on the website, on the whitehouse.com, that they were accepting applications and so on and so forth. So it all seemed legitimate, and I followed up on it and found out that it was, so which was pretty cool.
I forget what day it was, but we were just sitting in the chairs, and he just comes up to us and he's like, well, guys, I have something to tell you. Well, we were all like, okay, what is it? He's like, well, we're going to Washington. We just jumped with joy. It's like, are you serious? We couldn't believe it. I was baffled. I didn't even know if he was joking or not, but he was serious.
I honestly didn't believe him. I kind of just took the paper out of his hands and read it, and I was doubting it, because, you know, Carter plays jokes on us all the time. And whenever I actually found out, it was ecstatic, really. Like, it still hasn't sunk in, so that we were actually, you know, going.
What we do is we begin, you know, I look at pieces that I think would fit the appropriate, would be appropriate or fit the choir, and they go through and the kids learn mainly they learn their notes and rhythms first. We learn how to sing the notes and the rhythms, dynamics, expression, louder, softer, slower, faster, that kind of thing, but really how to prepare each piece so that it is representative of how the composer would have originally wanted it, and how it really brings out the emotions of the text or the words of the piece. Because basically what our choral music is poetry set to music. So we try to bring out whatever the words are talking about, and really just bring that forward so that we can affect not only the people in the choir, but affect the audience and move people to really enjoy the music as it is intended to be enjoyed. But mainly in rehearsal, when they're working together, they're developing their tone quality, their balance, and their blend. And so as they sing together, and they work together, they practice together, it really starts to just mold itself together. And really the kids depend upon each other. They know that individually their effort and the amount of time they put into practicing is going to help the choir as a whole. So working every day, practicing, taking ownership of the music, really putting all of your effort into doing it, that individually will help each kid, and then they bring that to rehearsal when we work together, and they want to succeed. So all of that put together is what really helps them to get to that point of singing successfully.
Well, I'm a senior, and I've actually been in chorus since 6th grade. This is my 7th year being in it. My mom, my grandma sang, my sister sang. My sister Hannah Hensley actually came to school here, and it was a big part of her life too. Most people join 9th grade year, they stuck with it. Once someone joins, they don't really regret joining. They always want to come back. Well, we're a huge family here, and if you sing in our choir, then you're just becoming part of our family, and you're learning how to actually read music. Singing a song on the radio is completely different to what we do here. We actually learn how to read the music. Singing a song on the radio is just, anyone can do that. Well, first, we sight read it completely, where it's just, the notes, and then we actually learn the notes. Then we focus on rhythm, and then it usually just comes together by then. Then we focus on dynamics and how the song is actually sung.
I used to be, I wouldn't say shy, not that, I'd just be quiet. Wouldn't be interested in, just talking, but being in choir has made me more, more sociable, more aware. More confident, yes, that's the word. Yeah, just more out there. You just build relationships, and through chorus, you just build and become stronger and become more united as a family.
Number one is the biggest thing that they gain from, I think, music is the fact that they have outlets for expressing themselves emotionally. We have too many kids, students and stuff, just across the country that, they might be troubled, or they don't know how to express themselves in a positive, healthy way, and they turn to drugs, or they turn to other things, and have sometimes emotional issues. I think with music, students are able to find healthy ways to express themselves and express their emotions. Music has been something through the beginning of time that has helped people to express their emotions, to carry that out into the real world. Because once they leave here, once they graduate, they have to become, a real adult. There are definitely other areas where it helps them. Fluency in reading and understanding the language. Choral music teaches you how to read things with correct emphasis. It also teaches you about cultural differences. We have music we have sung music over the years from France, from Italy, from Germany, from Africa. So it teaches them about those different types of cultures. So you have a cultural aspect there. There's math, there's science in music with frequencies and pitch, and and there have been studies time after time that have proven that success in music is parallel success within other academic areas. So I'm not just saying this, but there are studies that have said that before. So I think music encompasses all of the other academic areas into our performing art. Not everybody gets to get up in the morning and come to work and feel like they're playing or feel like they're having fun. Many people get up each day dreading the job they have to go to. Now, is every day great? No. And dealing with teenagers and dealing with kids has its own difficulties. But what it has taught me is how to work hard, and if you truly enjoy something and you put all of your effort into it and you use the gifts that God has given you to help others, then you really can make an impact on students. And I felt like in the last several years that I've hoped that I've made an impact on kids, and I have some that are in colleges now going and becoming music teachers as well. So, there's been difficulties over the 12 years that I've taught, but with perseverance and with consistency and doing your best, it's amazing to see what has happened. I never thought years ago that we would be performing in the White House. And never limit yourself by lowering expectations. You can be at a small school and still do great things. So always have high expectations for yourself and for your students. And if you have those high expectations, then they have the ability to reach those.
To keep up with all of their performances, follow the chorus on Facebook by searching for Frostproof High School Chorus. Next up is our latest artist spotlight. Angela Hansen is a science teacher at Winter Haven High School who specializes in plein air painting, or the art of painting outdoors, capturing views and landscapes in natural light. Here's a look at the art of Angela Hansen.
Angela Hansen, and I studied art at Florida State University, and I got my master's degree in education at Liberty University, and I do plein air painting, contemporary abstract landscapes. Plein air painting is painting outside in the style of the Impressionists, so like Monet and Pissarro and Degas and Vincent van Gogh. I'm a science teacher in Polk County, and I've been painting since I was actually in 3rd grade, so I've always been an artist. And I've just recently started plein air. Once my kids grew up, I started getting more into oil painting, and I started with watercolors and acrylics, but I really love painting in oils. And some of my teachers are Walt Bartman in the Yellow Barn Studio at Glen Echo, Maryland, and he pointed me in the direction of Richard Diebenkorn and Wolf Kahn. So when I paint, I try and think about those artists when I'm painting. I like the capturing of the atmosphere and the light and the texture of the brush strokes. You can really get some vibrant colors and really draw out the feeling that you get in that place. Well, a lot of people say that you can paint from photographs and take references from photographs, but when you're out here hearing the birds and seeing the light hit the leaves or the architecture, it really does bring your paintings to life and give it that fresh plein air feel. Sometimes I'll listen to music, but other times you don't need it because it's so peaceful out here. I think of values, light and dark. Am I getting too many of the same medium values? Where is the light hitting? When you're doing plein air, the light changes very quickly, so sometimes you have to remember what drew you to that particular piece or picture in the first place. There's many ideas out here. You could paint out here for years and still have lots of different ideas. So just remembering where the light was when you first started. The very first thing you can do to start is just look at some of your favorite paintings. Maybe you don't want to be an impressionist, maybe you want to do realism. So I would say look at painters who are contemporary artists painting what you want to paint. That's where I start. And I like to really watch the water, the ripples across the water, how the wind is catching the Spanish moss, or where the light is hitting on the tower. So using nature as your guide to get started. There's actually a lot going on in the arts community in Polk County, especially in plein air. I know of 3 groups, one in Bartow, one in Davenport, and one in Lakeland, that all try and meet together to do plein air. And there may be more plein air groups than that. But there's also studio painters and art guilds, such as the Lakeland Art Guild and Bartow Art Guild, that all work together to kind of help promote artists. And Art Crawl is great for sort of launching artists into the community and sharing that with art lovers who want to see your artwork. Just go out there and paint and keep painting and drawing and doing what you love. Until the piece sells, it's never finished.
If you'd like to keep up with Angela Hansen's artwork or learn more about plein air painting, follow her on Facebook by searching for Angela Hansen Fine Art. Lastly, we're going behind the scenes of the Mason Young Artist Competition hosted by the Imperial Symphony Orchestra. Young artists from ages 16 through 21 submitted applications to audition for the contest before being narrowed down to 3 that actually got to perform in front of a panel of judges. The winner is awarded a $1,000 scholarship and receives the honor of performing with the Imperial Symphony Orchestra live in concert. Check this out to appreciate the auditions and meet some of the artists behind this year's competition.
The Young Artist Competition has been going on for quite a while with the Imperial Symphony Orchestra because we are such firm believers of our musicians of tomorrow being members of the Imperial Symphony Orchestra and using their arts with us. So therefore, we started this competition, and today we had 3 excellent applicants that played beautifully for us, and making the decision is always difficult. But what we're doing is hoping to encourage students everywhere in the county, anywhere, to come and participate with the Imperial Symphony Orchestra at some time in their careers. We want to keep the orchestra alive. We want to keep it alive with young people. We want to keep it alive with young musicians. And we're very, very fortunate to have results from that. Some of our young artist competitors have been sitting in our orchestra in the past, so that we have seen that happen. So we just look so forward to having it again this year. And we have a wonderful staff that operates it and keeps it in perfect order. So we're a very fortunate organization, and we look forward to people hearing our winner today in our Young Artist Competition concert. We had 3 different directions. We had a pianist, we had a violinist, and we had a vocalist. Each one had their gift ready for their performance today. The pianist played a Rachmaninoff, the violinist played, and so did our vocalists do a beautiful job. They had worked hard. They had done a wonderful job getting ready to perform today in front of the judges. It's very important that they have a tonal success, that they bring beautiful tones, beautiful interpretations, excellent rhythm, because they will be playing with the orchestra. They have musicianship that shows that they have this talent to perform with the orchestra. But more than anything, the drive that they want to perform and want to keep music in their careers. And that's what we saw in all 3 of them today. They had worked very hard for their performance today.
I go to University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and I'm a music education major, and I'm doing my bachelor's in music. I'm an out-of-state student in North Carolina, and I grew up here. I moved here when I was 2, and I lived in Auburndale and Winter Haven, and I went to Harrison School for the Arts in Lakeland. I've been playing since I was 10 years old, so I guess it's 11 years now. A teacher came to our elementary school and she played something for us, and she was recruiting for a beginning strings program at the school. And I thought it was just so wonderful and I wanted to learn how to play it. Since I started, even though 10 years old doesn't sound like it's too late, a lot of kids start playing when they're pretty young, like 4 or 5 years old. So it's been really difficult to catch up and to catch up to my peers as I see them at a university level. So it has taken a lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance, but I think it's worth it. I'm so passionate about it because so much great literature is written for the instrument, and it sounds amazing. And I also love how it has the power to change lives and to give people purpose in life. The concerto I played is the Vietnam Concerto No. 5 in A minor by Henry Vietnam. I've always loved how it sounds. It's so fiery, and yet it has like really, really delicate and sweet moments. So I thought it was a great combination of both emotions. I started learning it in June, and I've been working on it piece by piece ever since, while preparing a lot of other music. I think it's a very courageous piece, so I always feel a lot of courage when I play it. And I feel, I don't know, it's a passionate piece, so I feel a lot of passion when I play it. There's a lot of opportunity here, and just getting to know my teachers that have already been here for a while and who knew about all the established programs here. I think that it has a lot of support for the arts, and there are a lot of programs that encourage like young artists to develop and to work on their craft in a very supportive environment. The community's always been so supportive of me and of my peers as I was growing up. Right now we live in a time where programs are a lot of funding is being taken away from programs, and they're being shut down, across the country. And I think it's more important than ever to provide young people the opportunity to be able to participate, because I think that it's a really great way to find ways of expressing yourself and doing it in a place that's safe and that can uplift others at the same time.
Well, I'm 21 years old and I go to Florida Southern College, and I found out about the competition by reading the posters they put up around our music department. I come from Ohio, and there we had a really rich arts scene. So in my school, we did a lot of singing and we played instruments and things, but I didn't start taking private voice lessons until my junior or senior year of high school. It's definitely a different kind of singing. When you're in a choir, you're really listening to others around you and wanting to blend, and when you're alone, I feel like a lot of the pressure is on you. You can't hide behind other people in a way. So that was a little scary, having to sing out more and be confident on stage by myself. I think that opera is really an all-encompassing art form. So if someone's like, I like dancing, or no, I just like the singing, or I just like visual art, or I just like instrumental music, opera is, it covers all of that. And I think there is an opera out there for everyone. I've known people who are like, I hate opera, like this is not for me. But then, I get them to come out and see a particular show and they're like, actually, this is amazing. And also even looking into the physicality that goes into being an opera singer. They don't have mics. It's like, they're athletes, so if you like sports, opera is somewhat of a sport as well. So I would just say keeping an open mind and finding those aspects of it that you enjoy and getting into the story, and I think opera can be for everyone. Well, today I sing O mio babbino caro from Gianni Schicchi by Puccini and Vedrai Carino.
I have been a mezzo for my entire college career, and this year I've been transitioning up to soprano. So that's part of the reason that I chose the rep that I did. But I also just feel like they fit my voice pretty well, and I like the emotion behind both of them. Vedrai Carino is very flirty, and it's a little different, you know, than I would be in my normal everyday life. So that was a lot of fun to play that character, and On Mio is very beautiful. So I have a lot of fun singing that piece. It's a process. I found it a little hard. It's always, especially in a recital setting, trying to figure out how much is too much, how much isn't enough. So I feel like I very much started at, ooh, not quite enough, and had to build up and think of what I need to be doing with my body and my face, but also wanting to make sure that anything I do with my face isn't affecting my singing or my vowels. So that was very difficult, and I just feel like it's a process. It never ends. Sometimes when you get off stage and you're done performing, you forget what happened. I just tried to have fun, and I think the word that I had in my head for this performance today was beauty. I just wanted to present something beautiful to the judges. I work a lot on technique, and if you think too much about that, it can get in your way. So just hoping that my technique came through and that I was able to do the music justice. It's been really amazing because, you know, I go to school here and I have an amazing teacher. I love her so much, but I've also had a lot of opportunities to go out into the community and sing. So we have like Lakeland Music Club, and I've sung for them with other colleagues, and they've also had singing competitions that I've been able to take part of. I also gig at a church in the area, which has been really nice, and having support from all of the members at the church has been really amazing. So Polk County is great, and we love having ISO right at our school. It's been a great experience. I can't imagine my life without music, is the thing. I came into school as a psychology and music performance double major, and just this year actually, as I was getting ready to take research design, I was like, no, like I'd rather spend my time practicing and getting ready for grad school and being part of the opera theater program and doing as much as I can than, taking this psych class. So I think for me, just realizing that like I can't live life without music, and even through the hardest times, you know, I go to the practice room and I sing, and I'm with my music when I'm having a hard time, and when I'm happy I sing. So I think music is very important.
And this year's winner is Jade Ferrell. If you enjoyed listening to her audition, then I encourage you to see her perform live in concert. You will be able to hear her exquisite voice as part of the Imperial Symphony Orchestra's Italian Symphony Masterworks concert on March 12th. Tickets are on sale starting January 11th at www.imperialsymphony.org. Well, that's all I have for this month, but there's always plenty going on within the Polk County art scene. Stay tuned for a list of art events in your area. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time for more art out and about.